Michael is a very unique individual, and it was the last speaker training that you went through, right?
Yes, sir.
And then we sat down in Anaheim. I want you to tell them just off the top of your head, the pyramid.
John and I sat down and we were just having general conversation, and as he was attempting to know a little bit more about me, I explained that I came, like I'm probably sure my brother over here, from the inner cities. Most of my friends were murdered by the time they were 21 years old, and these weren't just general associates. These were guys that I stood on the corner with, drank out of the same wine bottle with, quite frankly, and smoked joint with. And I went to Vietnam. I had gotten what we used to call, I used to throw rocks at the penitentiary. And what that meant was they was throwing them back, and I was on my way. And I got in front of a judge, and the judge gave me an option, Vietnam or the penitentiary. I opted for Vietnam. While I was in Vietnam, my best friend got murdered. 3 months, about 2 years after I returned, my other best friend got murdered. While I was in Vietnam, I recognized that there was a quality of life that I was taking for granted. And I began to realize that I had a different purpose because I was spared from that tragedy. And even on the streets of Philadelphia, my friends were murdered. I had an insight. John helped me point out that on the basis of a geometrical pyramid, where I started, everyone was there. And as I continued to evolve in life, those people began to be eliminated through various sources and circumstances of life. And by the grace of God, I am at the pinnacle of the pyramid.
Thank you very much. All right. Now, what we talked about, one of the reasons that I would like to work with you continually here, and we just sat down for breakfast one morning, and I'm listening to him, because one of the things that I feel like I do well, I listen to your story, and I'll put that into a really good package and find out, who are you? What is your story? And I said, what about this, Michael? When I was 6 years old, I had 50 people in my class. But where I live from, when I was 10 years old, we had 25 people in my class. Because these people died from malnutrition. They died from drug overdoses. When I was in high school, I had 10 people that were close to me. The rest of them were gone. I wasn't thinking about becoming wealthy. I was thinking about surviving. And when I got to be 21 years old, I got bullets shooting around me everywhere, and I felt lucky. I felt lucky to be sitting there serving my country because I was the only one left. Because everybody else died. They didn't even make it through survival. So I'm saying, that's his story. Number one, he had two things he had to overcome. Number one, he had to learn how to survive. And phase two is he learned how to be wealthy. I mean, he's got a fleet of limo down there. Don't let him play down, anything like this. He's a very successful individual. But he went through phase two. Is that a story that people, now that's a guy that, I relate to him. And he knows that in his life, surviving was way more important. See, in here, he's got a story. And he wants to share that story, and he wants to share it. Okay, it's not my story. People aren't going to pay you to hear your sad story. The sad story is, if I can overcome that and achieve wealth, hey, you're way ahead of where I was.